If you have entered this video, it is because you have probably seen the headlines about the cruise virus, which, well, is right now everywhere. As information changes every hour, we are not going to go into the minute by minute, but we do want to explain to you why you do not have to panic. Relax. We're not even close to a situation like that of COVID-19. But first, let's go with a bit of context for those who have not found out about the topic. The HMS has raised the alarm. A cruise ship with 150 people in destination to the Canary Islands has been blocked off Cape Verde. The reason? Well, several passengers have fallen ill and some unfortunately have died. The ship made a stop in South Africa. And after analyzing one of the corpses, it has tested positive for hantavirus. So we already have a culprit, okay? And what is that of an hantavirus? Well, T. are a family of viruses that infect rodents naturally all over the world. They do it in a chronic and asymptomatic way. That is, the virus lives with the animal for a long time, or even its entire life without it realizing it, which is great for the virus to spread easily. The problem is that sometimes this virus jumps to humans and can cause us serious diseases, which is what we call a zoonosis, which are infections that are transmitted naturally from animals to humans. Diseases caused by hantavirus began to draw our attention when two major outbreaks occurred during the last century. The first was during the Korean War, when more than 3,000 United Nations soldiers suddenly fell ill, and the other occurred in the southwest of the United States in 1993. Since then, we already know dozens of them that cause us diseases, and infections have been reported all over the world. By the way, hantaviruses usually prefer to infect a specific species of rodent. For example, in Asia, we have the striped field mouse, which is the main reservoir of the Hantavirus. In America, the deer mouse has the hantavirus, whose official name is curiously virus without name. And in Europe, well, for example, the red vole is usually the one that gets infected by the pumila virus. And how can we get infected from them? Well, it normally happens when we breathe in places where infected rodents have left feces or urine. The virus is found in the environment in the form of aerosols, and we inhale it. It can also be by direct contact, when touching infected animals, and of course by touching their waste. That said, there's also another option that is very rare, and that is very localized. Although in America, most of the cases of contagion are from rodent to human being, there are precedents of transmission from person to person in a direct way and among very close contacts. Until now, these very strange cases are associated with a specific type of hantavirus, the Andes virus, which is the one that is located in the southern cone. That is where Argentina, Chile, and Uruguay are mainly found. And here comes the twist of the matter. Where did the cruise depart from? Well, indeed, from Ushuaia in Argentina, the HMS has already confirmed that it is this type of virus. For that reason, although it is something exceptional, person-to-person transmission on board the cruise cannot be ruled out. And by the way, today there is no specific treatment nor any authorized vaccine for these viruses. For that reason, we will never stop repeating that investing in science is fundamental. These viruses do not always cause the same symptoms, so the severity of the disease depends on the type of hantavirus and where the contagion is located. For example, in Europe and Asia, it usually causes hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome that mainly affects our kidneys. It is serious, but the lethality is low, between 1 and 15%. In America, it is more problematic because they cause a severe respiratory disease, the cardiopulmonary syndrome due to hantavirus. Although lethality rates of up to 50% have been seen, normally it is quite lower. As we said at the beginning, do not panic because we are not facing a global public health emergency. The WHO insists that the risk for the general public is very low because these infections are infrequent and their transmission is not simple. And well, up to here today's video. We hope that it has helped you to clarify doubts and to be calmer. See you in the next video.